Alright, so this is the first in a series of videos explaining RP Redux on the Black Lotus server. I am Test Guy. This is Rivette, who will be helping me out today. And we're going to kick things off with selecting our race. So when starting out, you're going to have a race selection token. It'll be provided to you through the kits. You use it by pressing Shift and R to open up your RP Redux menu. Switching to the Runes tab, equipping your race selection token. You see we have a couple that are already pre-built in here, more are being added. So you equip, then move to abilities, and you can select from those races that were available to you. For our purposes here, I am going to be picking human. That sounds fun. We're going to be picking orc, I think. So we select orc. This is me here, Test Guy. Use ability. Now I am an orc, for better, for worse. I switch over to my dice section, and I now create my character. This brings us into our character sheet. From here, you're going to go down the line on the left, kind of picking out what you want. Before we get to that, though, our stats. We're using what I want to call almost watered down stats. They're meant to be interpreted however is best for you to interpret them. Body, soul, and mind, and you'll see how those interact with each other later. So as an orc, I'm starting off with pretty much nothing because I'm not really an orc yet, right? I haven't applied anything. I've got my +2 to my athletics, my +2 to my control, my +2 to cunning, and then I'm losing a bit in the fortitude and occult department. Orc, not very smart. So to make up for that, I want my orc to be strong. I want to be able to take a hit, and I want to be able to return one. This is going to be a really basic kicky punch orc. So we're going to go with heavy armor for him. That's going to give me -5 to defense. I know it seems counterintuitive, but it'll make sense later. I'm going to get 20 extra hit points out of the deal, and my weight is going to go up. Weight is important. Now onto my background. The titles of the backgrounds are suggested. Just because you want +1 strength doesn't mean you're a raider. Just because you want +1 athletics doesn't mean you're a dancer. These are just almost placeholder names. Choose what you want based on the stat involved. For me, that's going to be strength. I want to be able to throw a punch. Moving on beyond that, we define our character a little bit more. Here at this time, at the making of this video, we have our clergy feat, magic aptitude, and non-magical. Now I can already tell you that my orc is going to be non-magical. I'm going to get 5 extra hit points out of that. But just for the sake of discussion, the clergy and magic aptitude feats are going to give you some spells that we might cover in a different video. You might even see Rivette using some spells here during our upcoming RP combat, which I'm definitely going to win. So moving forward, I'm going to take the non-magical, boring orc feat. I'm not a shaman. One day I aspire to be an orc war chief. So we get our 5 extra hit points. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it will be. Pushing toward that same resolve, I'm min-maxing this orc. So we are going to dump everything we can into body. 3 points into body, 1 point into soul, 1 point into mind. Now we have 22 more points, skill points, that we can spend. I'm going to min-max the crap out of this so that I don't lose. And I'll leave it to you, the player, to go through and read through the different stats and how they interact with each other. This is more so a how-to on understanding the mechanics of building the character itself. Fortitude. Will my fortitude matter? Raises total HP. Absolutely, we want HP. Now with my remaining points, since I can't put anything else into body, I'm maxed out here. This is as good as I can get for body. Does anything else matter to me? Well, I don't think he's going to be very charismatic. Um, Control might be important. We might put some points there. Cunning, not really. Knowledge, definitely not. Perception, sure, sure. And we'll top him off with a little bit of control. Not that it's going to make too big of a difference to what we're doing today, but um, it's there. And sure, why not? So we do have some negatives here, right? This orc is not going to be rolling very well into a cult, but that's all right. The way I want him, the way I've described him, that's probably not going to be a good thing for him anyway. So once we're done and satisfied with our stats, and you can bounce back and forth between stats here if you need to. You've got your uh, layout here on the left that's telling you about what you've got. Um, we save and close. So now we are an orc. We don't look like an orc, but at heart we're an orc. So to give us an idea of how RP combat is going to work and how we envision it for you, we're going to have a little RP combat here ourselves. Before we do that, we're going to take a look at, by pressing Shift R, we're going to look at our now complete RP Redux reputation system, which will get used here soon. We're looking at 4 defense on our orc, 42 of 50 hit points. I'm going to ask Rivet to go ahead and heal me up so that I can have a shot at winning here. So 42 of our 50 hit points. I can tell you that this is a lot of hit points. Our orc is tough. He can take hits. He's not immune to losing, but he can take hits. Uh, and then let's take a look at his abilities. Raise Resolve, can't use that. He has not enough willpower for it. Unarmed Strike, this is pretty self-explanatory. This is without a weapon in hand. Uh, his racial ability is Wa, and if you know what that means, then I shouldn't have to explain it to you. If you don't, this is a war cry that he's going to use to boost his stats. We are using a short rest and a long rest system. Um, I'll probably cover those in a later video, but for now, I'll leave you to read them. Uh, Grant Stealth is how you're going to do a stealth check, which I would be absolutely awful at with this character. Perceive Stealth is the counter to that, so once somebody sets their stealth DC, you can then try to perceive them. And then we have a grapple, which is important to me because I don't want people getting away while I'm pummeling them. Now, the way this works for us is uh, currently I am unarmed, so I have no armed strike. If I equip a weapon, hit Shift R, now I have a weapon strike, and it will function differently than our unarmed strike. Conversely, with a bow, now I have a ranged strike. So it's important to have things on you if they're important to your character. If your character wouldn't use a bow, then don't worry about having a ranged strike because you wouldn't have one. So to begin our fight, uh, we are going to assume that for whatever reason our two characters are not getting along. Orc not like Rivet for some reason. We're not currently using an initiative system of any kind. If you want to, you can. You can accomplish that by, slash roll 1d20. And if both players do that, you can get an idea of who's going to go first. So for the sake of argument, we'll do it here. Rivet will go ahead and do slash roll space 1d20, and we'll see who is going to swing first. All right. Well, that was completely expected. And as such, I am going to move in and take the first punch. So I click to use my unarmed strike. I select Rivet as my target. I can post in the comment section here, or I can post normally in local. In this case, I'm gonna just assume that I've posted, and then I've come in here to do my unarmed strike. So I throw my punch. It does the roll automatically. I have beaten Rivet's defense, and Rivet has lost 13 points based on the punch of our giant orc. Now that's a significant hit. Right now, Rivette is uh, wondering, do I fight this out or do I try to run? Do I try to escape? So for our purposes here, we're going to say that there is no escape and we're going to fight this out. So she's going to decide what she's going to do, and uh, it looks like uh, she's posted in the comment section, so I get a little flavor to the hit. She comes back around, swings back, and hits me, and I lose 9 hit points. Now I'm doing just fine. Our orc is meant for a fight, and he's not going to lose easily. To that end, I've decided that I'd like to take Rivette alive. So I'm going to try and do that. I am going to Warcry at her, which this is going to be a quick Warcry that's going to raise my stats. I get 5 strength and 5 defense. The strength will last for 2 minutes. Essentially, you get 1 post out of it. And then I'll have defense for another 20 minutes. So I use my Warcry, and I am going to try to grapple Rivette. Now, people will ask, oh, but it looks like you're stacking all these different abilities on top of each other. I've thought about it, and I'm going to address that. Some abilities are going to be quick use abilities, some abilities are going to take a whole turn. Don't worry about it for now. Play to have fun for now. So we have used our Wa ability, and now we are going to try to grapple Rivette and keep her from getting away. Alright, Rivette's grapple DC was set to a 15 automatically when I used my grapple. Rivette failed to slip out and was grappled, so now she is grappled. She cannot get away. It is understood between us as players that I have her grappled. She can try to escape, she can try to hit me. That's going to be up to her. Oh noes, she will try to break free this time. Uh, and unfortunately, she was not able to, so she is still restrained. Uh, so, unable to escape, I am going to draw my sword on her and continue the pummeling. And yes, I have hit myself before. It does happen. Don't do that. All right. So, unfortunately for Rivette, I have taken a massive swing and ended the fight early. Um, at this point, she is not dead. She is considered to be unconscious, and the RP would proceed from there. So in this case, you were looking at maybe 3 to 4 posts of combat, which keeps it kind of minimal. Uh, some combats will be longer, some combats will be shorter. And there's a really great variety um, among the abilities for the different races. Uh, some races have magical aptitudes, some races have poison abilities. I'll leave you guys to explore that kind of stuff. Um, but for now, I think I've covered just about everything. The last thing being, well, what if I want to change my race? I've played as Rivette and I didn't like getting pummeled, so now I want to switch to another race. So Rivette is going to go ahead and drop a race change token for me. I'm going to use my race removal token first. So I go into my runes, I equip my race removal token, and I use the race removal ability, which will strip me of my orcish nature. And now with the race selection token in my inventory, I am going to Shift R, go to runes, equip it, go to abilities, and now I can select a new race. Like I said, we have a lot to choose from, um, and more being added just about every day. So I'll leave you to explore around that and find some good min-max combinations. We're always looking for suggestions on new races, so if you have one, uh, send it to us in Discord. That'll be it for this video. Uh, Thank you all for watching Rivette get pummeled, and have a good one.